You know, I usually like to be snowed in with a face full of pussy, but I don't think that's in the cards. It's like, nothing like usually what I like to be snowed in with. Fuck this French toast. I would like some warm sweet potato yams.
I feel
Uh,
you.
Welcome to Out the Trunk with Jordan and Darius. My name is Darius. That's D's I Love in Your Area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. That's Jordan B. Writing on all socials.
We call this segment "What's on Our Mind," letting you guys know what we saw on the internet throughout the week. If you are not listening to us in the southeast, you probably aren't aware that we're about to get a hit with a snowstorm. Apparently, uh, when is it supposed to come through?
Uh, this weekend,
Yeah, Friday or Saturday.
Saturday and or Sunday.
Okay, perfect. Because um, my usual grocery store run is Saturday morning, and so
Got you.
I can knock that out. So, what are some of your favorite snow day activities?
Um, so we do. Have you ever had snow cream?
I'm afraid to ask.
That, so we we
Okay.
put up like a big bowl out on the patio or the deck
Okay.
to catch the snow, and then we actually use that to make like homemade ice cream. So
Okay.
that's one of our snow day traditions. Um, Hot chocolate, go outside, use if there's enough snow, fuck around, throw some snowballs, sledding, play with Charlie, that sort of thing. We'll do like since winter still, we'll maybe throw on some Christmas movies or something like that. And yeah, just chill for the most part. We keep it pretty simple, nothing too extravagant. We used to like be big sledders because our
Yeah.
neighborhood is just all hills. So like it's like the best ever to go up there and just go sledding and shit. But yeah, got a little bit too old for that. So
You know, I, I don't really I do plan on taking on some cooking projects this week. I actually already kind of wanted to stay in the crib for a weekend because
yeah,
just it's not I like to about
we
once a
just went
month
out for
just
four
do
days in a row, basically.
yeah, and so so it's kind of like perfect timing for me. So I'm gonna do
hmm
I've been kind of feeling uninspired in the kitchen lately, so this is kind of snap me out of the funk,
Okay.
do a couple more complex projects, and hopefully, I'm not sure what I'll cook yet, but that's kind of
Okay.
the plan. Bunker down. How bad is it supposed to be? Do you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Let me see. 'Cause the weather app's not really, or my phone at least, is not really saying specifically how much. Uh, Google this.
Well, this is bad audio, but it's gonna snow.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it is going to. And the thing is that it doesn't take much here because we don't have the infrastructure for it. So,
Correct.
I will
Half an inch and
say
everything is shut down.
pretty much. And what I will say to the people is that perishable goods are not. You don't need to stock up on milk and eggs and butter and things like that for 2 days. Monday, the world returns to normal. Bread goes bad. What's with the perishable goods? Why don't like whenever there's
Uh,
a snowstorm, why do people buy a bunch of stuff that spoils fast? Can someone explain that to me?
I don't know. I think there's a little bit of PTSD in North Carolina from there was a crazy snowstorm that happened. I think I was in like second or third grade, so it would have been maybe like 99 or 2000. And they told us like it'll be like a little wintry mix, nothing crazy. And we got 2 feet of snow. And we were out of school for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I think people just like never recovered from that.
But like that to me, that's canned goods. That's pantry staples. I'm not sure what milk
Yeah.
is gonna do
I
for
think
you.
it's I think it's one of those things where just like people are so afraid of like
You're
worst case
frozen.
scenario happening that oh shit. You got me?
I can hear you perfectly clear, but your video is frozen.
Okay. What the fuck?
This is probably as clear as I've ever heard you. It's like there, you're back.
Okay.
Uh,
What was I about to say? Shit. Oh, okay, I remember now. See, it's one of those things where I think people are so afraid of being like unprepared that they just take any sort of action to feel like they're properly prepared, you know? And they're like, let me just buy whatever I can think of and get my hands on, and that'll make me feel safe. Like, remember when COVID happened and everybody just bought all the toilet paper? Like, what?
yeah. At least that doesn't go bad.
True. That is a non-perishable.
No, I mean, look, it's not the end of the world if you buy a little bit too much milk. That's not the
Right.
craziest thing, but I think definitely gonna do probably, some French toast, and
Okay.
then maybe fry some chicken. I don't know. I haven't actually done anything other than cook like for like regular meals in a long
Right.
time. So
Got you.
it's been a minute. It's been since basically dry January or dry November since I've actually
Right. Okay.
bust some pans out. So that should be fun. Um, yeah. So
It is perfect soup weather if you want to get creative.
soup weather.
Make some chili.
But I wish that it was last weekend because it was football all weekend, and this
Right.
weekend is like
It's just
Saturday.
nothing to watch.
Speaking of football ending, uh, summer or not summer, but first like weekend with the football clears your calendar out. Um,
Yeah.
Thinking about rewatching the show. Should I rewatch Game of Thrones or Mad Men?
Um, I mean, winter is coming. Yeah, you got to go Game of Thrones. If we're gonna get stuck in the snow, you might as well go all the
Yeah,
way to Winterfell.
yeah, that's true. And that is the show I've watched less than Mad Men. So, all
Got you.
right,
Okay.
I think Game
Yeah,
of Thrones.
I've only done like one or two rewatches of Game of Thrones actually, like full rewatches. I haven't done a full one in maybe a year or two.
I mean, it just ended. Shit, never mind. 7 years ago.
Right.
Never mind.
We've gotten two spinoffs since then.
Yeah, well, yeah. I tried House of Dragons. It's not for me.
Yeah, no, I'm
It's
season two lost me pretty much forever.
it was
Um,
it just feels like when you were in school and it was like 1,000 word limit, but you only had 300 words of material, so you just
right.
talked in
Start using
circles.
passive tense and shit.
Yeah.
Like
Every
I
can't
had went
becomes
to go to
cannot.
the store because I had to run some errands.
Yeah, it's just what it feels like. I just feel like there's just not anything left and they're just trying to make it last as long as they possibly can. So,
Yeah, it's like the entertainment equivalent of word salad.
yeah, pretty much. So you saw a tweet about successful people. You want to give people the cliff notes?
Yeah, let me pull the tweet up here. Who tweeted it? I'm gonna give them their credit. Oh, damn. Hold on, I'm getting my bookmarks.
I have it if you
Okay, I found it. Brittany Hugo Boom wanted to give her credit. Yeah, it's kind of a long tweet. I'll just give it a couple of bullet points. One thing I've noticed about highly successful people is that they always do what they say they'll do. When you text them, unless they're in a meeting, they're responsive. This is why they say give projects to a busy person. They get things done. They don't flake. They're true to their word. I've noticed that this generation laments the loss of house parties and social events, yet people flake 5 minutes beforehand because they'd rather watch Netflix and chill or whatever. We live in a generation of flakes. Uh, I was recently with an esthetician who modeled in their early 90s. She was older but still gorgeous, and she told me that when her agent said where to meet, she got on a train and showed up because you couldn't just text and cancel. Um, I thought that was super interesting because I'd never really seen success spoken about in that way.
I agree, although I do think she's conflating a couple of things. Like
Yeah.
it starts as like successful people are reliable, and then it gets into flaky
People.
just like
Yeah.
friends not showing up to house parties. I think that's just two different conversations. But
hmm
I had never saw it that way as well. And I don't know very many successful flaky people. I really don't.
I really don't. Yeah, like everybody
Like,
that I know that's successful is committed into everything that they do. Like they're
yeah,
disciplined in every. If they choose to be disciplined in this thing, they're going to be disciplined in it, and you know that you're gonna see results.
yeah, it's just, and if they say they're going to do something, if they say they're going to do X by Y, they really do X by Y. It's,
Yeah.
obviously things come up here and there, but
hmm
I never really, I really don't know many people who I would deem like successful or aspirational or any of that who are
hmm
unreliable and flaky. I just don't.
Yeah. Like not at all. Yeah. Like they and if they are, it's in like a niche area or something that's not actually pertaining to their vocation or their obligations to the people to their village, so to
Yeah.
speak. I was having this conversation with a friend actually a couple of days ago, talking about like commitment and discipline and consistency. And there are those people who like talk about doing something
Yeah.
and they talk about it so much you think that they're actually going to do or they're actually doing it, and then you see them and you don't see the results versus people who kind of just do it or say they're going to do it and then they do it, and you're like, okay, I see you it actually like coming to fruition for you because you're putting in the work.
Yeah,
Um,
it's especially especially when it comes to creative space, I think a lot of people romanticize the flaky creative and the person who
right.
is in and out. But even in those spaces, man, the people who are most successful are the people who are reliable. You know,
Yeah.
it's just it's hard to
There's a reason Wayne
find.
didn't get the Super Bowl.
Right. And, if you ask anyone who's ever worked with Dot, the first thing they'll say is like 7 o'clock means 7 o'clock to him. Like it doesn't,
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
he's there for rehearsal. Yeah, obviously he's
correct.
an extremely creative person, but, behind every, I think there was, it was Mario, I don't know how you pronounce it. He was on stage and he was
Mhm.
just being a dick to the guy who was recording, who was obviously like filming for the festival promoters or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone quote tweeted, it was like, you always wonder why some artists never really blew up or fell off, and then you realize why.
You find no, you find out. It's
You
like
find out
the
why. So
story.
they're either dickheads or they're
Yeah.
unreliable, and you just can't. You have to be extraordinarily talented to overcome being an unreliable dickhead, and most
Yes.
people are not that talented.
Correct. And I like that there's that whole trope of like, in this kind of era of like, like Fight Club, Whiplash, what's the other movie about like super dedicated people? I can't remember what it is, but where it's like people also think like the Steve Jobs, any of the Steve Jobs
Yeah,
movies where they think like uh to be great you have to be an asshole.
yeah.
And it's like that's not like there's a famous line Seth Rogen says to uh Steve Jobs in the movie. He says, you can be decent and great. They're not binary. If people think like, oh, I gotta be an asshole to be great. And it's like, well, no, you can not be a diva and you can like you can get away with being a diva if you're that great, but that doesn't mean you have to be. That's not a byproduct of your greatness.
Also, when you talk about someone like Steve Jobs, who was notoriously a dickhead, you're talking about
Yeah.
basically modern day Leonardo da Vinci. This is not
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
royal
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Like this man was one of the greatest inventors of our time.
Yes.
His talent is such that he can do that.
Yeah.
If you're betting on being that talented, you're probably making a bad bet. You should be
And
reliable and not a dickhead.
and also if your name is on the door,
Yeah.
you kind of got carte blanche.
I mean, has there been a more transformational piece of technology than the iPhone?
Not that I not recently, not in the last
So unless you got one of those in your
30
in the
years.
tug, you might not need to move around
Yeah,
like Steve Jobs.
you might want to be consistent and follow your word and do what you say you're going to do.
Like if that's the model, I hope you got an iPhone in that brain because
Right.
I don't think people would have put up with that if he was making like TVs. Like you gotta do
Correct.
something beyond anything we've seen before.
Yeah.
Someone said true technological innovation feels like magic. And the first time I saw an iPhone, I was like, that looks like a magic trick. Like,
Right. Like airdrop
and
still doesn't really make any sense to me. You know what I mean?
I mean, the first time I went on the internet, that felt like a magic trick. I was like, I can just
Yeah, true.
see all the scores from the game last night on this one. I don't have to go find a piece of paper. And like,
Hmm.
I can just look at all the movies that are
Yeah.
listed and it's at one. I don't have to call a number and wait for the phone to tell me when the
I
movies.
don't gotta go to Redbox and Blockbuster, RIP to them.
Yeah,
You
like,
know,
it felt like magic. Unless you got one of
yeah.
those, you should probably,
You should probably
watch how
do
you
what you
treat
say you're gonna
people.
do. Yeah, I agree. It's like, there's a thing about, Mariah Carey where she doesn't, I think they say she doesn't leave her house for anything less than 1 million.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, when you sold that many records and when you've written that many hits, you can stay the fuck home. If not, you can need to stop the performative agoraphobia.
Well, it's like people like these new artists, they want to just drop at midnight with no promo, and it's like Beyonce can
You're
do
not
that.
Beyonce. You're not Beyonce.
Beyonce has 20 years of equity with a fan base that's loyal to her.
Correct.
And you may be too young to realize this, but Beyonce was outside in the beginning. She did
Yes,
106 in
she was
Park. She did
everywhere.
the BET Awards. She did
Yes.
club shows, promo, red carpets. She can do that now because she put the work
Hmm.
in. You skipping
Correct.
steps. Like you
You're right. That's a great point because
like
that's the thing too now with like why artists don't connect with fans is they don't do interviews.
yeah.
And Beyonce didn't start the whole new interview thing until I don't know what, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago,
I would say
Um
2014, the self-title when that dropped. I think that's when
okay, yeah,
when she
probably
went into her
yeah.
new. But again, 2014 is 20 years into her career. This is
Right, because
Destiny's
they came out
Child.
in
This
what,
is
96?
D-Day. This is
Yep.
like
Sasha
she's
Fierce.
already been a touring artist
Hmm.
and I mean, has enough equity with the fan base that's going to show up regardless. You can't move like Beyonce when you Summer Walker. It don't work like that.
Correct. It don't. Yeah, you
We need to hear from you. What happened in this song? What did you mean? People need to connect with you because you're not just
correct.
dropping at midnight. I go to bed at 11:30. I'm not staying up to listen to
Just
but so many people. It ain't many.
right. That's very true. Yeah, I think also there's just like a I just feel like successful people generally there is there's like a insecure self-awareness they have.
Yeah.
I know that it sounds oxymoronic, but it's, they think they know that they're great, but they also know what they need to work on, and they also do. Most of them have a little bit of imposter syndrome or have some sort of void that they're trying to fill, which is why they work so hard a lot more often than not. Um, like I remember watching an interview with Tom Brady years ago when he was in his prime, and he was saying, I watch film and I'm like, my arm's kind of cool, like it's all right, it's not that great, I could be better at reading defenses. My footwork, I got to get it a little more sharp. You know what I'm saying? This is when he had already won three Super Bowl. This was before he was on the rise. And I think that's also what makes people great as well. Being able to self-evaluate, um, like being keeping your ego, but knowing when to leave it at the door.
It goes back to Beyonce, and while her music isn't for me, like I see the clips and the Cowboy Carter tour, she's on a fucking car flying in a trapeze across the stadium.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to do that no more. She could show up with a guitar and sit on a stool and
Hmm.
sing, and that bitch would still be packed out. What drives her is innate. Like you can't,
Yes, you
like
can't teach that.
she's
You can't
clearly
teach that.
pushing for a different level when she doesn't have to anymore.
Right,
Again,
because we she'll probably never vocalize it because we'll never know what her goal is because
right.
her probably goal is probably be the greatest ever, but you people are so averse to confidence that you can't say that,
Yeah.
without people perceiving it a certain way. Like back to Brady, I remember he there was a story where Julian Edelman told, he said, so Tom, like you going for four rings, right? You want to catch Montana? He's like, no, I'm not going for Montana. He's like, I'm trying to catch Jordan. I want seven. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, especially in a sport like football,
Yeah.
where I mean, for all of his accolades, the fact that he left New England in the first year he ran, he went right back to the Super Bowl and won it is just
Yeah.
that kind of killed the argument. Like everything you had
It
against
really did.
it was like, all right,
It
this is
killed the
over.
it killed the Aaron Rodgers comparison. It killed the who was more important, him or Bill Belichick. That silenced a lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean, the first year, like he went
Yeah,
right
that was
back, then
crazy.
beat Mahomes in the
By
Super
the way,
Bowl.
in a pandemic with basically no training camp,
Yeah, they
and
only
also
made one of those.
that's correct, and that's also as much of an indictment of Jameis Winston as well.
Well, I mean, he's a backup quarterback, so
Yes.
so. All right, man. I saw a tweet the other day, or today, actually,
Okay.
5 minutes before we logged in, and the prompt
All right.
was, what are some things that are antisocial but feel pro-social? I think I have a good one, but I will just leave the floor to you to go first.
Um, I would say self-checkout
Okay, okay.
is antisocial but feels pro-social. Like it's efficient. But it's, one is taking away jobs. That's pretty antisocial. And also it's neutralizing again some of the natural social interactions that we do have. Like I worked at a grocery store and you have regulars that you see them all the time and they'll make a point to stop and come through your register. Those little moments, things of that nature. You develop a rapport and damn near a friendship with certain people. Especially if it's like a neighborhood grocery store, things of that nature. So I'd say that was the first thing that came to mind when you posed the prompt.
Yeah, well, so the thing about self-checkout, and look, I'm not a saint. I use it sometimes too, but
Yeah, me too. Yeah, for sure.
one, sometimes it only works half the time, and you end up
True.
having to call someone over to help you anyway. And it
Right.
does make life efficient in a way that feels cold. And it's just
Yeah.
it removes some of the serendipity. We're gonna have like, a one of my ding words. I use that one a lot on the pod, but it does, like, there's
Like maybe
randomness
you
in
see the
sitting in
cute
that
girl in
line.
line and you have a little conversation or
But like you said, the little combo with the clerk,
hmm
ask you what you're cooking, look at your ingredients,
yeah.
people in line at the cart, you see interaction with people that
hmm
everything isn't supposed to be optimized for efficiency. Some things should be inefficient, and I think going to the grocery store is one of those things that you know we'll miss it when it's gone. So,
Yeah.
mine is club sections. Sections in nightclubs
Yes,
are
I agree. I agree.
they feel very pro-social because you're outside, you left your house,
And you're with people.
you're with people, but you've removed all of the hijinks from going out, and you've just basically transported your living room to a nightclub. Like there's
Yeah.
no,
That's it.
you
Because you're
just
not
all you've
talking to
done.
anybody but the people that you came there
Right.
with.
You
Um
just took your kickback and brought it to a club,
yeah,
and
you
that's
just
it.
you
Like you,
teleported
yeah,
basically.
that's it. And it's just that you're literally roped off from strangers.
Yep.
And you paid a premium to do this, and you're sitting down, and you just all you need is your couch. You just bring your couch
Correct.
and put it in the
And
middle of the
on top of that,
club.
the people like I've been in sections, whatever. Like the people that are in the section more often than not are not even dancing. So
No.
you dead ass are just sitting on the couch.
You you teleported from your living room and you just brought your living room to the club, and
It's
you
like that
might as
Two
well
Chainz
get a
line.
DJ to just play in your living room.
Yeah, remember that Two Chainz line? He's like, "We're the type of crew to get fresh just to sit in the living room." That's what I
Yeah.
think of with sections.
And it's just I I I've I when I was in the clubs, like the
Yeah.
sections were special occasions, yeah, you do a section, but
hmm
the idea
Birthday,
that
shit like
just like
that.
this was just how we like the fun was meeting strange people.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
fun was meeting random people. I don't understand it, and to me, it's just it's
Yeah.
just that's the first thing I thought of when I read that prompt. I was like, club sections, because
Yeah.
you're getting dressed, you're leaving the house, but you're doing it in the most antisocial way
And you're
possible.
literally not socializing at all.
No, no, like you can
You're
literally
not moving.
you're skipping the line, so you're not
Yeah.
even drunk talking with people in the line at the
Right.
club.
You're not
You're
going to the
going,
bar because you got the section.
you
You
got the
got the
bar
bottle girls.
section. You
Yeah.
literally, some of these clubs take you in through a secret hallway. You don't even
Yeah,
walk
or a
through the
separate.
club.
Yeah, or a separate line. Yeah, that's true.
You don't even walk through the club, and then you just
A
sit in the
different
section
stairwell.
roped off from everybody else. How do you make going to the club
Boring.
antisocial? You gotta work, and you pay a premium for this. You pay 10 times what the other people paid.
And that's one of the few things that isn't a result of cell phones. And
No,
that's,
that was
like cell
before.
phones obviously ruin going out a lot, but that's one of the things that has nothing to do with cell phones. That's just people wanting to look cool, I feel like.
It's just spending money just to say you spent it without actually wondering if there's a value in this is just I just feel like
Yeah,
there's no bigger example of that than sections in the club.
I agree.
Want to talk about some difficult conversations?
Yeah. So I was just thinking about just reflecting and thinking about shit for the talk about it for the pod and stuff. And I just thought about uh navigating difficult conversations with friends and how to go about that. I wanted to ask if I mean, we've all had difficult conversations with each other and with our friends and stuff,
Yeah.
and I wanted to ask you, like, do you think about or try to like prepare what you're going to say beforehand, like how you're going to bring it up to the friend, or do you just kind of just say it and hope that they take it in the best way, like take it, knowing that you have positive intent?
It depends on the conversation.
Mm,
Uh and the gender matters. I've
yeah, for
found
sure.
that a colder, more straightforward approach works better with men than women. You want to
Yeah,
couch it a little bit. Men respond better to what is it? What is it? Carrots and sticks is the saying. Men respond better to sticks, women respond better to carrots.
mm,
But yeah, I don't like practice it, but I definitely because I can be a bit tough with words, so I
yeah,
definitely run through which words would not go over well
right.
beforehand, but I don't think I practice it, so to speak. How about you?
Um, yeah, I mean, like what you said, the gender does play a big role in how and when I deliver it. With my guy friends, you don't really have to wait as long to kind of say the thing that you need to say or that you think they need to hear. You can just kind of say it, and then they'll pretty much take it. We don't all think the same, but we know how each other thinks. And so there's less filter you have to use, which is nice. So I don't have to spend as much time trying to figure out how to tell them. With some of my women friends, I'll maybe wait until they bring something up in reference to whatever the topic is that needs addressing, or um, I'll wait till I feel like they're in a like really good headspace. Like if they're going through something, I'll be like, okay, maybe now not be may not be the season to have this conversation. But if they're in a good headspace, then I'll kind of bring it up. Or if I feel like they've started to address it on their own, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, I did notice these things, and this is something that I also thought was a blind spot for you as well. And I'm glad that you are working on that.
So the problem with women is that they're not always seeking answers.
Shit.
They just 8:52. 3, 2, 1. So let me ask you this. Are you capable of giving an example that's vague enough with no identifying markers so that the people can like know your approach to it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. With a man or a woman or just any
Let's go
situation.
women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I had a situation where it
I
was
just I just throw you a grenade.
a little bit.
You could just say no. That's why I asked.
No, no, no. It's just because there's some examples I don't, Anyway, so yeah, so this particular time I was dealing with a friend, and they were um this is like over a year or two ago. I just noticed they were like not. Okay, do you know about attachment styles, like anxious versus avoidant?
Not I've heard of it, yes, but I'm not well versed in
Okay.
the
So
literature.
this friend exhibited traits of being an anxious attachment style, like just being overly eager in uh, dating situations and shit like that. And we were hanging out one time. We were out drinking, and I'd been just wanted to tell them this for a while, but the situation never came up. We're always in big group settings and shit like that. So just I didn't, there's never the time and place. And I just kind of like, hey, I just got to tell you this, and it's kind of random. And I was just like, like you're amazing, but I feel like you don't know that, and you're like not, and you're not acting like it. You know what I mean? And like people can like sense that energy from you, like when you're not, fulfilled, and when you're not like fully self-assured, and that it's like a aura of. I'll just say it's like an aura of desperation that can kind
Yeah.
of emanate from you, and we've all done it. But I was just saying like, and when you have that, it attracts people who are like, oh, that's a needy person.
Yeah.
That's an insecure person. They need validation, and if I can give the validation, I can get whatever I want from them. And that was kind of the situation. They would tell me situations. They'd have these patterns of cycles of, this guy did this and this guy said that, and da 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 da, and it didn't work out. And I'm like, well, you just were doing too much, and you didn't give the guy the chance to pursue you because you were so eager. And then that because of that, guys are reactive. Like if you're attractive, guys will be like, okay, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Which means he's not really pursuing you, so you don't really know how much he's actually interested in you.
How do you so if it's one thing, okay, so I've been in a situation where it's something that I thought I knew, but
Uh-huh.
like you can also get so close that you're not seeing it straight yourself. And
Right.
like I knew it was an issue when other people would come to me as like a source, like, hey, have you noticed this? And I'm like, okay, now that I feel obligated, are you okay? You're with me. I feel
Yeah.
obligated to say something because I'm big on I don't like talking behind people's backs. And so
Right.
once we reach the point where other people are talking about it, now it's almost my obligation to bring it because I know it's not just
Right.
me.
Yes.
And so, that's tough though, because if it's just me, I'm really hesitant, especially when it comes to other people's dating lives,
Yes.
because it's really none of my business and these people grown.
Right. For sure.
And if it's obviously we're not talking about abuse or crime or anything like that. We're just
Right,
talking
right, right.
about just like doing too much.
Hmm.
Uh, Especially as a homeboy, because how do I know that I'm not seeing it correctly if it's just me noticing it and no one said anything else? So it's tough. It's
Right.
tough, especially with women. So because
Yeah.
I can't speak to what there have been situations where I thought so and so was doing too much and they ended up getting married and living happily ever after. So I'm not a fucking relationship
Got you.
coach. I
Yeah.
don't know what works and what doesn't. There's no universal
Yeah.
playbook. I could just be like, I wouldn't, and then I
Hmm.
wouldn't. But when it becomes a groundswell of other people saying it, now it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
we're not going to talk about so and so behind their back. So,
Right.
you know,
And I've had that situation. I've had that too, with a friend where it was like, other people notice certain behaviors and shit, and it was like eventually I kind of had to tell him or tell him as best I could because they were not really in a good space at the time. And I was just kind of like, hey, you're you're doing a lot, you're not really putting yourself in the best light. You're making yourself look less than who I believe you to be and who you actually are, and that's just not a good look because like people see you and they see like the awesomeness and they see like all your talents and all the things that make you special. But when you get in these certain social situations, you become yeah, you become like I had a friend tell me this once, and it was a guy friend, so we could be honest with each other. And this was back in my mid-20s. I was really young and insecure and really like in a space of needing validation. And he just kind of gave a metaphor. He was like, "Yo, you act like a stray dog." Like, and he was just like, yeah. He was but he was right. Like I got it, and he was right. Like it hurt, and I wanted to swing on him, but he was right. And he was like, you're a straight dog, bro. It's like you just like are like looking for wherever the
a
light
leg to
will come
hump on.
from. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was just like, damn, you're right. You know what I mean? And I remember like I had a conversation with a friend. They kind of told me about myself. And they were like, you are very clearly operating from this back a couple years ago. A good friend of mine, she was like, "You're very clearly operating from a place of lack, and it's apparent. Even if you don't think it's apparent, like because I know you, I can see it." And they kind of said, and you're letting these people in your life that should not even have access to you. And so I've definitely been in there on both sides of that coin, and it is tough because like we do all have blind spots, and it is hard to see your own, you know, behaviors, toxic traits, whatever you want to call it, inadequacies, um, until they become so apparent. We're like, it does become a thing where people are like, yo, like, who's going to tell them that there's a hole in the shirt? Metaphorically, of course. You know what I mean? And the hole is not like a little tear. The hole is like the whole back of the shirt is missing, you
You have a
know?
kick me sign on your back. Let me ask
Yeah.
you this. Did it work? What is your track record for these come to Jesus moments?
Um, Depending on the time and place, it did work for more often than not. In terms of in the sense of they took my message and they understood what I meant and that I had, meant them no harm and it was out of care that I was doing and saying these things. Um, I mean, I think pretty much they've more often than not they've been taken well. Like nobody's great in the moment,
Yeah.
but more often than not, people uh pretty much take it well. I mean, and I think honestly, sometimes too, like I got to the point where I had to learn to like if like we talk about vices and like validation is a vice. Validation is as much of a vice as heroin, and attention is a vice, and people don't talk about that. And it's like when you notice someone who's just like that addicted, sometimes you just got to take a step back too. Like at a certain point, it's like because they'll put you in situations that you don't want to be in, that they'll put you in harm's way. Like I've been in situations where, like, I was talking about this with a friend the other day. I was like, men and women friendships, people think is the only difficulty is the whole like sex thing, whatever. It's like I don't know about you, but like as a man, I've been in a lot of uncomfortable situations, just like being friends with women who maybe were overly obsessed with male attention, and like guys are jealous and they think that you're with them, so they try you and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, or try to do like subtle hater shit. That gets annoying and can go left quick.
It's never gotten physical, but yeah,
Yeah.
boyfriends hate me, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
By and large, I will leave it at that.
Yeah, I
You
feel you.
want to wrap it there?
Uh, um, what was it? Okay, so you've obviously, I mean, obviously you've had difficult conversations with friends. Have yours, have they gone as well as you had hoped or expected, by and
Uh,
large?
I don't get into the weeds much with female friends. I'm much more of a listener than advice giver. I don't know if
Hmm.
that's the right way. Advisor is a better word than advice giver.
Yeah,
Male friends, yes,
yeah,
for sure. I just my blunt communication style works better with men, which is
yeah.
strange because I have more female friends than male friends, but I don't be giving them dating advice. Retired
Yeah,
from that game.
I have a joke. I was telling somebody a little while ago. There's that tweet. Gay son or thought daughter.
Yeah.
And I said, sometimes being friends with women is like having a thought daughter.
Well, I've always found that question absurd because being gay is an immutable trait. Like you can't change that.
Right. You
Thought is
can't.
a behavioral issue.
Yes.
So, um, like, would I enjoy going to his dance recital over a football game? No, but I would be there. Like
Yeah.
that is nothing he
And
can, like,
and by the way, what if he could play football too? Like,
I guess I did just do, yeah. All right, fair enough. Statistically, there has to be gay NFL players. Like, it's just
right. I
mathematically
mean,
impossible for there not
yeah. I
to
mean,
be.
there's yeah. I mean,
I
I
did the
almost shit.
thing
I'm
too because there was a tweet. It was like
Patriots.
it was what the tweet say? It said oh, Aaron Hernandez joke. The tweet was like, I don't like when straight actors play gay characters, and the
Uh-huh.
lady responded with it's actually illegal to ask someone their sexual orientation before you cast them for a role.
Right.
And like you are being homophobic in and of itself because you think the only gay person acts like Lil Nas X. Like you think
Yes,
that
right.
like,
Yeah,
there's
that's the
no
thing
way
that
you to
people,
know that this character's gay unless they don't wear
right.
signs. Like
Yeah, they
there
think
are
every
masculine
gay character is
presenting
supposed to
gay
be like
men
Will
that
and
you would
Grace.
never know unless you slept with them.
Correct.
And so like you just think
Right.
every gay man is supposed to act like Lil Nas X, so you think that every straight presenting man is like you did this to yourself. But
Yes,
no, it is
correct.
actually illegal to be like, hey, I only want gay people for this role because you cannot hire someone based off their sexual orientation.
Correct. Yeah, it's like yeah, like you really don't have to be able to tell all the time, you know.
They
And
don't wear
it's
signs or like numbers. They don't all get a tattoo. There's no way for you to know
yeah, there's
if a
no for
gay
everyone.
actor is gay or if this kind of gay character is really gay in real life unless you use
Hmm.
gay stereotypes. Like that's literally the only way you can know. Uh,
Correct. Because like I didn't know like the dude from did you watch that show White Collar?
no, I've never seen it.
Oh, that show is phenomenal. But the lead, he's gay, and I had no idea. Like, I mean, he's openly gay, so I know because he's openly gay. But yeah, I would not have known. I mean, I wouldn't have been looking for it, but I would not have known based on the quote unquote
No,
stereotypes. They
they
expect everybody to act like Saucy Santana,
yeah,
and
like
it's
they
just
just
like
walk
that's
in the room
not.
screaming it's raining men. That's really like no, they're just regular looking gay dudes.
Yeah, there's people that just
We're gonna get out of that before we get canceled.
right.